Good evening everyone, and welcome to an extra Gundam news that is all about Tamashii Nations 2024. And after an extremely disappointing Gunpla announcement, it's good to see some exciting stuff for the figures. I'm not a huge figure collector myself, but that's not going to stop me from being happy for those who are. Although, I do feel sorry for your wallets. And so why don't we literally start with the biggest announcement this time around, courtesy of the Universal Century. It was first shown off at Tamashii Nation 2023, but the Big Zam has now been officially announced. There is just one unfortunate thing though, minus the price. This beast of an action figure will be limited to the Tamashii web store, otherwise known as Premium Bandai Limited. So, I'm sorry Dozel, but I don't think we can quite call this mass-produced yet. But let's go over all of the details, because for 55,000 yen, 353 US, this thing does come packing with a lot of features. The cockpit opens up, revealing two regular pilots and Dozel inside. There's another in-scale Dozel figure that you can put on top of the Big Zam to replicate his final moments in the anime. And if you look closely, you can see that they even replicated the hatch that he used to get out. The Big Zam also has some surprisingly good articulation, with movable feet, a movable main cannon, and even the ability to kneel, which was something I was not expecting to see the Big Zam do. And as a finishing touch, not only do the mono eye and the main cannon light up, but the smaller cannons also light up. And to prevent the thing from falling over, you also get a stand. Pre-orders on Japanese Premium Bandai went live today, and it is slated for a May release. And if you then still have some money left, together with the Big Zam, they also announced Project Solomon, re-releases of older Robot Spirits figures with a darker color scheme, and also like different accessories / different packages. And they are now aptly called the Glory of Solomon version. So we have the Rigdom, with more details coming soon, the Ball Twin set, also with more details coming soon, and the Core Booster, which did get all of its details unveiled, because it went up for pre-order alongside the Big Zam as yet another Premium Bandai exclusive. It now goes for only 5,500 yen, 35 US, but unlike the old set, you now only get a single Core Booster with markings for Slegger's number 5 unit. Instead of Sailor's number 6 then, we're now getting an action base. The other accessories then remain the same, with 4 thruster effect parts, 2 beam effect parts, a missile effect part, and a landing gear. And all of these can be yours in May as well. And then as for the differences between the new Rigdom and Balls, they were previously released as a combo set, being one Rigdom with one ball, and they're now going to be sold separately. And finally, for the standard Robot Spirits figures, they announced the RX-78-2 Gundam version the anime Earth Colors. No more details are given, but I think there's not that many secrets to this thing anyways. It's almost certainly going to be just a pure recolor. And they also showed off 2 Robot Spirits KA signature figures, to which I'm going to add a huge asterisk. The Rig Diaz and Prototype Rig Diaz. And if you're now suffering from deja vu, then yes, you are absolutely correct. These figures have been teased in the past, many years ago, and they are still not officially announced. They're just being shown off as figures that could be released in the future. When is that going to be? We don't know. Moving on to the Metal Robot Spirits KA signature figures then, where they showed off 3 UC and Gauge Gundams. The Zeta Gundam with Eye-Field Claw and Eye-Field Blaster, the Double Zeta Gundam with Hyper Giga Cannon, and the new Gundam with Long Range Fin Funnel and Hyper Mega Bazooka Launcher. And these are also only for display, similar to the Rick Diaz's that we just went over. So technically, it could be years before we get any more information on these. Although with UC Engage being the hot mobile game of the moment, I don't think we're gonna have to wait that long. It simply wouldn't make sense for them to be released like years down the future when the mobile game is dead and no longer relevant. But I'm not so sure if I can say the same for the other Metal Robot Spirits KA signature figure, coming to us from the follow-up to the UC Universe, the G Arcana Full Dress. Again, no details are given, so we'll just have to wait and see when or if it gets released. And what is also for display only is the Space Colony Side 7 OG Gundam version. No prizes listed, because it is just for display, but this thing looks quite incredible. At first I thought it was just like the outside of the colony, and I was already impressed, but then I looked at the other pictures and I saw that even the interior is fully detailed. Like, you can see the complete city inside. And thanks to the lighting, you can see it very clearly. And also, thankfully, you can see a wire coming from the base, meaning you'll either be able to hook this up to the mains or to a USB hub. And you won't have to keep batteries in this thing all the time if you want to light it up, like you had to do with, for example, the Master Grade Extreme Unicorn Gundam. The only thing that I am, of course, worried about is the price. It looks like an awesome centerpiece for a Gundam collection, and I have no doubt that the price is going to be equally awesome. Then again, I might not even have to worry about this because it looks like something that might become Premium Bandai Limited, so hey, you win some, you lose some. Related to the Universal Century then is the RX-78F00/E Gundam, which will be shown off at the 2025 World Expo. And this thing got 2 announcements. It'll get a Chogokin figure, which has been confirmed to be sold in the future, but we'll still have to wait a little bit longer for the details. And it'll get a Robot Spirits figure, which will be releasing in April for 9,680 yen, 62 US. And what I find quite bizarre here is that this thing is going to be a regular release. We have seen standard mobile suits being Premium Bandai, and yet this exclusive thing becomes a normal release. Sure, why not? Over at the Cosmic Era then, we mostly got Metal Robot Spirits announcements. But again, most of them are for display only, which is like their way of saying that we're almost certain that we're going to be releasing them, but you can get mad at us if we don't end up releasing them. But given the success of Gundam Seed Freedom, I really don't see any reason why these won't get released. So first up, for the display only figures, we have the Zaku Gundam Seed Freedom version, which can be paired up with the separately sold Cavalier Aifrid. And so far, they're not showing us any potential hidden justice features, although they might be keeping those a secret for when the figure is announced to actually go on sale. And these two are then followed by the Sword Impulse Gundam Spec 2, the Blast Impulse Gundam Spec 2, and the Legend Gundam. For the Sword Impulse, we can tell that it also comes with a bonus railgun, and the Legend Gundam is shown off with a Dragoon launching effect for every Dragoon, so it is sure to make for an impressive display piece. Next up then, we got some more details for the Strike Freedom and Destiny Recoordinate version. They were teased last month, and now we know that the Strike Freedom will be released in June for 19,800 yen, 127 US, whereas for the Destiny Gundam, we got a simple confirmation that it will go for sale eventually. And also for the Cosmic Era, they kept one of their top announcements secret until today, or yesterday depending on your time zone. The SH Figuarts Lacus Clyne pilot suit version, name subject to change. More details will be coming soon, but we do already get a good impression from this prototype figure. The face is looking overall pretty good from what I can tell behind the glare of the visor. The curves are well preserved, and I think this is the first figure of her that also comes with those wings. And when I went into the comments to see what others were thinking, it was filled with people asking for an SH Figuarts Cavalier. Because of course. And things got even more impressive over at the metal builds, with the big teased announcement of course being the God Gundam. But other than this prototype, that is all that they told us. And the same goes for this Exia 2025 version, name subject to change. And frankly, I don't see a lot of differences with the older release. The only difference I could find was that the decal on the ear is now on the top half, whereas with the old one it was on the bottom half. And also from 00 is the 00 Quanta Full Saber option part set, which will be going up for pre-order on Premium Bandai on December the 6th for 7,150 yen, 46 US. But some important things to mention here is that this set only comes with an extra sword and the joint parts to attach the sword. It cannot turn a regular 00 Quanta into a 00 Quanta Full Saber. It is meant to turn the 00 Quanta Full Saber that you already have into the 00 Quanta Fuller Saber. And this set can be yours in June. And talking about optional weapon sets, they announced the Hyper Mega Launcher option set for the metal build Zeta Gundam. More details will be coming soon, but they did already show off how it opens up for firing mode, and it really is glorious to look at. And last but not least for the metal builds, there was the prototype for the Crossbone Gundam X1 Half-Cross Cincadou Custom. A very interesting looking unit that appeared in the new Crossbone manga to celebrate the 30th anniversary. And I really like those power lines going from the shoulder to that massive beam rifle. But again, it is just for display only, with more details coming at some later date. And I'm especially looking forward to seeing all of the beam effect parts that this thing comes with. And we're still not done, because next up we have the Gundam Fixed Figuration Metal Composite lineup. They showed off Char's Zaku 2 High Mobility type, the Zaku Desert type, the Zaku Half Cannon, and the Gouf Real type color version. Although they haven't committed to confirming if they will be sold yet. So we'll just have to wait and see for that. But they also showed us the Gundam Deathscythe Endless Waltz version with Rousette, which has been confirmed to go on sale. And they also showed off its very interesting looking Neo Bird mode. But more information will be coming soon. From Build Fighters then, they showed us a Soul of the Chogokin Gundam Dryon Dry, which looks absolutely stunning. But again, other than these images, more details will be coming soon. What caught me off guard then were the Gundam Universe announcements. Now, the first two are just your regular fare. There's the Epion and the Wing Zero, which will be sold at some point in the future. The Epion comes with its Beam Saber and Heat Rod, and the Wing Zero is shown with its twin Buster Rifle. Although I'd be surprised if it doesn't also come with the shield as well. And as far as the proportions are concerned, they also seem to be pretty good, especially for Gundam Universe figures. The surprising thing then is that the Unicorn Gundam, RX-78-2, God Gundam, and the Barbs are getting a renewal version. And it's not just like a re-release of their older version with new weapons or like different accessories. If you look closely, you can tell that the mobile suits are different too. The proportions have been upgraded, especially on the Unicorn and the God Gundam. The detailing is different. And it even sounds like they're getting a new inner frame with more articulation. So it's basically like Gundam Universe version 2.0. More details like their release date and, more importantly, their price are yet to be announced, but I do hope that they can stick at least close to that old price tag with these new upgrades. And then finally from SD Gundam, they showed us the SD Gundam World Super Orchis, with again, more details to be announced. So yeah, the Gunpla announcements might not have been all that great, but at the very least we got some really cool figure announcements. Also for the Gunpla, I did miss the news that they're going to be getting a price hike, so don't worry, I will be covering that in next week's Gundam news. As always then, a big thank you to the Patreon supporters. I hope everyone watching has a great evening, and I'll see you all next week with more Gundam news.